Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm. Today, we're going to be talking about cosmic exploration. Of course we are. I don't need to do any long-winded introduction. It just came out, patch 7.21, and it's our first not real endgame, like, raid content that we've had all expansion. Long overdue, but we're here to do our first impressions, talk about the rewards, the actual, what we're doing on the moon in the first place, and some bunnies. We got bunnies to talk about. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Mrhappy, and of course, joining me is someone who actually has done crafting before this very day, Sly. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
I'm Sly.
Okay. I'm okay.
Don't make me say it again.
No, don't say it.
Okay, that's fine. How you doing? Other than okay.
Doing good. Enjoying our indentured servitude to our bunny overlords.
Yeah, I only did one day of indentured servitude to them before Clair Obscure. I was able to play that. So they have had limited amounts of my time, but I've managed to make pretty significant progress in that limited amount of time, which will come into play with our review of, I guess, first impression of cosmic exploration. We'll have here. Yeah. Before I get started, shout out to the sponsors over on Patreon for supporting. Nobody has to support. Show's available for free, YouTube, podcast apps, all the other places. But if you enjoy it, then that's always an option as well. And then shout out to Steel Series, who always sponsors on Twitch, !Steel Series, with a 12% discount code there. And on YouTube, it's in the description of almost every video on my channel. So they support on the back end, and you can show support by always getting something through that link. And if there's a better discount code, just use that one instead. The link is the more important thing. So we have pulled ourselves away from Clair Obscure to actually do this show. You gave me the option to not do that, and I opted.
Yeah, I was like, are we doing our expeditions or are we doing a show? We're doing a show. Yeah.
The options I was given were continuing our expedition or moon landing. Those were the two options I was given. And we're going with Moon's Haunted. Somewhere in between. Yeah. So I'll start off right from the get-go. So how much moon stuff have you done since it came out on Tuesday? Like, how much time have you actually spent there? I want to give everyone an idea.
So between Tuesday and today, I'd say about because I went in from like maybe patch to about 11 a.m. and then I started to do hunt trains and Captain Tome. So I'd say because patch released at like 5 something and like Eastern, I'd say like between that and today, 8 hours.
Okay, all right. So pretty, because I'd assume also because of Clair Obscure. Yeah. About the same. I did on server up, which was about 45 minutes early. I did that until noon, so that's about 10 hours. And then later that evening, I spent a little bit of time doing it. And then the following evening on my own time, I also did. So I probably spent like 15 hours in there in total.
Okay.
Getting used to all the systems. And I've had quite some experiences while I'm in there because I chose probably the worst route I could have chosen for starting cosmic exploration. But
which is
fishing. That was a bad decision, let me tell you.
That was a horrible decision. Just hearing from my one of my fishers in my community, my main fisher, Marcus, and he's fisher specialist, yada yada yada. And he's like, yo, and this was like at the beginning, yo, we don't even know how the fuck to get these fish. Like, I just fucking failed a goddamn mission. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm just mining. I'm just kicking rocks. Like, y'all are like, now you went in, or your fisher is leveled, correct?
No, my fisher was 90. That's why I went in. I was like, I'll get it to 100.
Okay, so yeah, you went in on the side of you were going in strictly for leveling purposes, and that's fine. A lot of people did. They're using this to level their gatherers, what have you. the people who are leveled, aka the ones who are fucking tryharding this, even we were fucking stressed. Y'all had it easy. You're just there for leveling. We're here fucking sweaty as shit. We're fully melted, and we're stressing out over a fucking gold or silver. Hell, like sometimes we're stressing out over actually making the fucking cut on a damn mission. So, and we're melted, fully fucking melted. And we had the conversation before. And like before I went in, because I didn't meld, like I hadn't melded my gatherers. Crafters fully melded. Gatherers melded one. It was a miner because I wanted to go in as miner. And they're like, nah, you don't need melds.
Melds are a pretty good idea in there.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You say that I just did it for leveling, but let me tell you, they weren't messing around on that front either, in a lot of ways. So Tuesday morning rolls around. I do an on-server wake up because whatever, it's new content, I might as well. I get in there and I'm like, I will do fishing first. So initially when getting into the spot, they immediately kind of hand you the opportunity to grab your cosmic tool and start working on that. And the cosmic tool in particular is, it's pretty straightforward. Basically, you have research points that you need to earn, and you get that by doing the stellar missions. And stellar missions are basically these really short form leave quests that you just kind of spam while you're in the zone. You can't gather, you can't craft anything from the zone that isn't part of a stellar mission. So you're pretty much tied to that one particular feature. There's also no inventory for the entire zone. Anything that's quest relevant just goes into a temporary little item pouch. So already seeing pieces of feedback from the diadem. The inventory concerns in the diadem were atrocious, to say the least. As much as the gil that you could make from that inventory, disaster was reasonable, it was an inventory disaster. And I go to fish the first one, and it takes me a few minutes of hoping for the correct fish. I start figuring out what my fishing skills actually do. And it starts off really simple. It's like, okay, I need 2 types of fish. So I'll surface slap the first fish, forces me to get a second fish. Reasonable. Yeah. I learned that double hook and triple hook don't work on like 99% of the fish in there. They do work on some. Just very, very few of them. And then I start learning as I level up. I start learning about sticking fish in my pocket to save for later. I start learning about the new lures at max level when I eventually get done. But what I'm also learning the whole time is that these fish really just don't give a fuck. And
they don't.
I can sit there for 8 minutes and not get a single collectible fish the entire fucking time, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I will just fail.
And you're doing this under what? Patience 1, patience 2?
It depends. Sometimes I have to do patience in order to get the right thing. Sometimes patience is not the play. Sometimes it depends. For the collectibles, patience most of the time to play. For the non-collectibles, I'm just praying the right fish even bite the line in the first place. Sometimes got to have my mooch, and I got to make sure I got 2 angler's arts to get the big fish proc to increase the odds of getting the singular fish that I need. And eventually what it boiled down to is I'm just doing big fishing, but there's a window every 5 minutes.
Are you able to identical some of the fish?
You can identical the same type of fish that you would be able to identical out of the, like, you can't do it with a mooched fish. I can't mooch a fish and then get the fish on the line and then identical that. I can identical other stuff, but that only goes so far.
Yeah.
I have to hope the fish even bites. Like there's like a quest. I'll be like, oh, get 3 of this fish. I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll catch it identical and then hope for another. And I'll go 6 of the 7 minutes without even getting the first one, and I can't identical it. So, and it can't be like wrong bait because they give you the bait, so you always have the right bait.
Yep. See, this is why I'm glad I did minor. I mean, minor doesn't have like a lot. You're kicking rocks. That's it. That's all you're doing is just kicking fucking rocks. Some of the minor stuff has been stressful because, like, again, with Fisher, you're just fucking fishing. In one point, you are just stationary. You're waiting for a specific fish. Minor, the stress is running from node to node, even with Cosmic Sprint, because with most of the missions, there is a clock running. So as you get up to the A missions, and it's like, hey, we need about like, we need 48, but you need this much for gold. I'm like, okay. Some of the missions I did today, I barely made it. Like it was like within a second of the clock going to get silver. Like I barely made it, and I was hauling ass. And I'm like, every input's perfect. Let's go and move to the next node. Yada yada yada. And then there are the other slightly stressful minor missions, which is like, hey, you only score points when you're chaining. I'm like, wait, what? So I can keep hitting this rock, but only a chain's gonna count. So yeah, you had to use basically all your GP on Solid Reason. All your GP on Solid Reason, and hope and pray you get a Eureka moment with that. Because like with Solid Reason, it grants you an extra node hit. But if you get lucky, you get an extra node hit. Man, that shit did not proc. It only proc maybe twice today.
Yeah, and
this shit is fucking stressful.
Yeah, and that's my described cosmic exploration as the one thing that makes the only way that it got me to enjoy crafting and gathering is to put a figurative gun to the back of my head, and that's in the form of the timer. It's just like fish, fish, fish. And while I'm not going to partake in said beverage because I'm going to the gym after this is a live recreation of me drinking cordials.
Just chugging cordials, waiting for fucking GP, chugging cordials. All right, fuck. I'll wait 2 minutes for all my GP to come back. Yeah.
Can't even get a revisit proc while you're in there either. So
nope.
That would have been wild if, like, on certain ones you get revisit procs for
Cosmic
mining.
Revisit.
Cosmic Revisit. That would have been something. Yeah. Yeah, it's stressful. The gathering, not only that, but the gatherers have a different thing that's stressful. It's stressful early on, but it won't be stressful later. And that's the crafters just sit in the middle of the fucking town and just craft. I have to like hope that my missions that I'm trying to get to are not on the other side of the fucking map, because then I have to return and then run over or use the Cosmo Liner, but the Cosmo Liner doesn't go all the way, so I have to take 2 of them to get halfway there to get to the other mission for a Mech Op to spawn, and the Mech Op's on the other side of the place, so I have to weigh, well, I already ran over here. Do I want to do it now, or should I go to the Mech Op? Do I have the...
At least with the Mech Op, you can use the Mech Op guide and just go straight to it.
Yeah, but if I'm already at a mission I took 5 minutes to run to, I have to weigh the option of whether or not I want to go to the Mech Op in the first place. Like, return having no cooldown doesn't make the effort feel wasted.
Sly, there's a Mech Op. You gotta do it? I'm in the middle of the mission, man. I can't go now. Shit. I'm in the middle of this shit. I want to get gold.
Yeah, dude, there's a mission for fishing where you have 6 minutes to catch 18 fish. None of them, well, okay, let me rephrase. I don't know if any of them are double hook or triple hook available. I'm going to assume they are, but the gold is to finish that with 45 seconds remaining, and the silver is 30 seconds remaining. So clearly they just wanted me to go really fucking fast. It's frightening how fast they really want me to go with that one. I was like, I don't even know. It's because yeah, it's rough, man.
You haven't experienced the combination crafter gatherer quest yet, have you?
I have only
because you've only been doing fishing.
So I wasn't gonna jump ahead to this, but I did try to do goldsmithing. So my crafting experience was wildly different than my gathering experience. First of all, I remembered that I was missing something for all of my crafters under the very specific name of manipulation, which, let me clear the air on this one. Square fucked us on this. Reminder that manipulation used to be a level 15 class quest ability, which I have done for every class. Then they added Manipulation 2 in Stormblood as a level 65 ability. And then they said, fuck Manipulation 1. We'll just push that to level 65. And now Manipulation 1 is 65. So, first my experience was getting to the level 65 class quest on Goldsmith, which, it took me like 30 minutes or so just to blast on through. And then I go and I look at all my buttons and I go, these do things. What do they do? And so I was like, man, I just realized I don't really know how to craft. I haven't crafted since they changed all the skills.
You don't fucking say. No, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Really? Really?
But the story doesn't end there, Sly. The story is far from over. So I'm doing the first few, and I start to like get my HQs. I start to actually kind of figure a few of them out for the classy missions. I'm like, okay. So I kind of see what I'm supposed to do here. Like groundwork is really the big thing. Nobody really uses the basic sense unless they just need something like really small. So I have waste knot. I have manipulation. I'm starting to see some trends. And then I go to my Discord and I tell them that like it's rough because I don't know what any of my skills do. And they go, and I tell them I'm actually just watching other people do synths to see like what they're doing in what order. Like I'm just watching people around. And then my Discord was like, Happy, you don't seem to understand something very important. They don't know what they're doing either. They are going to Raphael's website, putting in the durability, the progress, the what's it called? The quality. And they are putting it into the auto solver and they are just doing whatever that says. And then they're making macros as they go. And I'm like, oh, then I started doing that. Yeah. And now I feel like I've been doing it for years.
See, yeah. There is macro. Okay. From a crafter standpoint, yes, macro crafting does exist. It does help to know what your buttons do. So in the case that, you didn't test your macro, because I don't think any of these crafts allow you to test a macro like normal crafts do. So in the case that you didn't test your macro, if your macro kind of does something wonky and you're missing a little bit of quality or you're missing some progress, you need to unfuck your macro. Like it helps to know what the buttons do to kind of unfuck certain situations, or if you need to manual craft, that too. So yeah. Well, welcome to the game. Welcome to the show, Haps. Glad to finally fucking have you.
Yeah. Even the expert crafts at A rank, people are largely just throwing them in there and then just making. I asked someone. I think they said they had 43 macros. That they were just literally for every single stellar mission, even if they could technically use the same one, they were just like, I'm just making a new one. I don't care. I'm just labeling it for each one and just pressing those. And I'm just like, okay, that's smart. Why even bother? Why even bother learning how to? I got all the macros for everything. So
Teamcraft exists for a reason.
Yeah, they do. So Goldsmith isn't even one of the ones I could combine with fishing, but my crafting experience, that was what it was up to that point. But I told you the story wasn't over because the game decided it didn't want me crafting.
Okay.
I got my goldsmithing tool to stage 2, and then I was in the process of taking it to stage 3, which, by the way, is very quick. For those who didn't know, for each weapon tool you have completed, it increases the rate of the other tools and their research data acquisition. So it compounds and it gets faster and faster to do the other tools. It even has a mark. It's like 1 out of 11, 2 out of 11, 3 out of 11, etc., etc. I got to 500 research points for phase 2 to 3. And I went to the bunny to get my phase 3 tool, and he had the exclamation mark over his head and everything. Tool sitting in my inventory. I'm not wearing it because you shouldn't be wearing these things unless you're at the level that could use them, I guess. And he just won't give me the next phase. He just says, no, you already have the tool. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get the next one. My research data is maxed. And he's like, no, you already have that tool. I was like, okay. Logged off, logged back in. Won't work. Dropped the tool, took it again. He gave me the stage 2 tool again, but still wouldn't let me make it stage 3. So my goldsmithing tool is bugged and I can't progress it. He's stuck. I can go grab another tool if I want, But I'm hard stuck. He won't give me the phase 3 tool. I put in a bug report and everything. He's just done with my shit. So the game doesn't even want me crafting. Like, somebody was like, Happy, listen, we know you're only doing this out of obligation because you're like content, right? But like, stop. We're going to we got you. Just stop. Okay. That's it. So that's been my experience with crafting largely in Cosmic, I swear. Is the game telling me no? And let me tell you, it took me a while to get to the point where it could even tell me no, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing until I found that website. And then I was like writing everything down and making macros. I spent a lot of time doing that, only to then get told no. And I haven't heard anyone else mention this. I haven't really been looking, but I've heard a single other person mention having this problem. It's just me.
No.
It's great. Have you done the Goldsmith tool yet, Sly?
No.
Maybe don't for a while. Maybe wait.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, very peculiar one. So most of my experience has been fishing. So, you know, way better.
Yeah. But, of course, one of the mechanics of Cosmic is to build the base. And we've gotten to certain stages to where, like, once you've filled the entire bar for the progress, something happens. You all have to meet back at the base, wait for the appointed time, and then we get a big ass fate.
Yes,
a big ass fate.
A big ass feat.
Feats?
Fete, if you will.
Yeah. So with this, you're just going around doing random shit around the base. You're sucking up cosmic dust. You're fixing random shit, and you're just pretty much going around in a circle and doing that for 20-ish minutes collectively. 20-ish?
20?
Yeah.
Lucky you, bro. I did it at 4 a.m. It took us fucking 33 minutes to do them when I was doing them.
The first one, yeah, but we got it down. Yeah.
First two took like 30 minutes each.
And this is where the joke comes in, because the second one, you've gotten the one where you had to replace the rover batteries, right?
Yeah, that motherfucker has got the worst charge I've ever seen.
No. I'm gonna call a spade a fucking spade. I'm convinced that the Loporrits are black. They have the worst batteries ever. Shit. If Best Ways Burrow has fucking smoke detectors, every single one of them bitches are beeping. They got them bitches from Dollar General. I swear to God, the Loporrits are fucking black.
Is this the joke you were waiting?
They are black. Yes. The Loporrits are straight up hood black. Every single one of the smoke detectors in Best Way Burrow are beeping because they won't change them batteries unless we fucking do it. Yeah, we had to fucking do that shit. Nah, fam. Yeah, them bitches black.
Listen, you'll know better than me in this case. It's funny. So before the show, we were talking about making cocktails. And I know it's a weird segue. It will make sense in a second. And I was talking about how I just never like to buy brown sugar because I don't use it to cook for anything. So when I buy it, it's only to make an old fashioned. So I can muddle the brown sugar at the end. And what was it? It was like, someone was like, you should steal it from the coffee shop. And I was like, my coffee shop doesn't have brown sugar. I was like, it's actually kind of surprising because my area I live in is, for lack of a better word, very white. And white people love brown sugar, ironically. Especially in California. They'd be like, yo, that's it. That's it. Put the brown sugar in my Starbucks. Don't put the white sugar in. Put the brown sugar in my Starbucks right now, okay?
Yep.
It's way more hipster that way if it's brown sugar instead of white. It's just better. It's sweeter. It has more flavor. Shut up. Shut up. Sugar. All right.
Sugar.
So he was like, before the show, he's like, oh, I got a joke. I got something I gotta say about the moon. I've been waiting this whole time for it. It only took 20 minutes to get there. I'm surprised it took that long. Yeah, it took a while. Yeah, and we have other things to talk about, but I want to take a step back before we talk about some of the specific ops, before we talk about the actual balance of those moon missions. Let's take a step back and go all the way back to the Gatherers. So, this is where most of my feedback has been and most of my experience. As a Gatherer, it's...
As a fisher...
I'll say as a gatherer, because I think the things I'm going to say apply to all. For fishing, the fact there's no fishing log and way to track the fish in game is wild. Like, it's rough, because I cannot even remember what fish belong to a fishing hole until I start fishing there, unless I have guides up on the other monitor, which, to be fair, is actually very fishing-esque.
Yeah, to have a spreadsheet for the fish? Yeah, that's some fisher shit.
Yeah, that's literally fishing. I know that from ocean fishing days. Right? Like, I get it. But it's like, it's pretty rough in game to just be like, okay, I need 4 types of fish. What the fuck is even in this hole? Or I need collectibles. Which collectible is in this hole? And there's just no way to, like, there's no in-game way at all. Like, there's 0 in-game information about, like, that. You literally have to pull up a sheet on the side. So I had a sheet up on the side that was just like, for this mission, these are the fish there. I'll be like, oh, okay, I remember that one. It'll be like, mooch this one. And I'll just be like, all right. Literally just like my ocean fishing days, just like my big fishing days. I did my first ever big fishing stream with Sophie the other day. And by the way, 12 out of 15 fish.
Hey,
I'm pretty good. It's like I've fished before. I have 18,000 plus fish caught already. As a reminder, thank you, ocean fishing.
World-class troller.
I am a world-class troller. It was natural that it was a competition between me and her. I had that shit locked in. It was not like it started kind of close and then just blew her out the water with that one.
Damn.
So she's gonna be trying to set me up with harder fish next time, so I suffer. She saw me get Rakshasa in Stormblend. She's like, all right, no, listen, that was the hardest of the easy fish. Okay, we got to get you some Cinder surprises up in here. We got to get you some Ruby Dragons. You know, we got some real challenges tucked away. We got some salads for you. All right. Got some real struggles ahead. Okay. It's like easy. Not even worried. Not concerned at all. Yeah, and I was eating 1 Reese's egg per one that we ate because it was Easter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I ran out at 10. I didn't realize I didn't think I was gonna Yeah. So at the gathering, I simultaneously love that we have Cosmic Sprint. I know that everyone in the zone was simultaneously in pain that we have no mount.
Yes.
So
now,
that was gathering woe number 1 was having no mount.
That semi gets rectified as the base gets built.
Yeah.
Because pretty much everyone now has the little hoverboard things that we can move around from place to place. The Cosmoliner, thank you. That allows us to get to certain points of the map a lot quicker than we would hoofing it.
Yeah, the Cosmoliner is fine. I haven't been back on. I don't know if the Cosmoliner is expanded, but the big thing is that when you start getting to the higher rank fishing missions, all of the nodes are in the far north and far south. And the Cosmoliner, you have to take it twice, and it only takes you about halfway. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll get you like a good ways of the way there, and you just have to hoof the rest. Yeah. Yeah. Gatherers deal with that too. So there's some missions at the tippy top of the north, and the Cosmoliner only takes you roughly about, a good portion of the way there. I'd say 60% of the way there.
Yeah, it's definitely, I don't even know if I really care that much. While I'm doing it, it's just like I'm not really thinking about it. But then at some point, my brain always goes, man, wish I had my mount right now. I just have a moment where it just kind of I just kind of triggers in my brain to go, oh yeah, this game has mounts.
Yeah.
Mine just can't breathe up here, I guess. That's all. I can, apparently, but my mount can't. So no ether currents here. So yeah, that was that part was a little rough. And again, I don't know if that's going to be rectified by the time the moon base is fully done being built. If there's going to be again a Cosmo lander that goes further, if you're going to be able to fly your mount around, like maybe there's like creates like an ether current around where the base is, and now everyone can fly. Who knows? Maybe that's going to happen, and it's more so just to give you that early sense of exploration, which works fine. I feel I'm not for or against that decision either way. However, Gatherer Woe number 2, and we've already kind of covered this, but that base better be building a fucking juice bar for me to drink at so I can get my GP back at some point. That motherfuckers need to build a goddamn juice bar that I can use on like a 10-minute, 5-minute or something. I don't know. I need juice. Give me juice. I want carrot juice.
So for those of you who haven't done this or don't know, as a gatherer, especially on the A rank missions, because I'd say you would use it on B's and C's. And
I've been chugging cordials like I'm an alcoholic, like I'm an alcoholic, just down the hatch all the time.
And hopefully you have high cordials instead of just cordials. Again, do your scripts, do your island sanctuary, which I haven't done, but I use scripts. So I have a bunch of fucking high cordials. Even still, because you're in the middle of a mission chugging a high cordial. And that it's on a 2-minute cooldown, I want to say. So yeah, you're only going to maybe get one within that mission. And then, let's say, you go through your missions and your next mission is right where you are. Great. Awesome. You ain't got no GP.
Yep.
And so you're just sitting there. Well, I guess I'll fucking wait on GP and my cordial. Because no. Okay, either you're going to wait on your cordial and then build the GP. No, I'll wait on my GP and my cordial before I even start it.
I start risk assessing when I start getting them back to back. I start going, okay, if I start right now, what is the path to potentially succeed the next mission? That's it.
Right.
I don't say I will wait for everything, because here's the thing with fishing. Even if I wait for everything, the fish can still fuck me 6 ways to Sunday. So I'm not really getting anything waiting for the GP. The GP just helps me do something mildly about it. So yeah. with minor botany, well, I'll use minor as an example because that's the main thing I'm doing. A lot of the missions are, hey, just gather a certain number within, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's say right now the number is 48. That's the silver. That's silver. That's not even gold. And then there's the time quests that are okay, just, gather 48, but you need 1 minute and 30 left on the clock. And it's well, that means you really only have a fucking minute. So the majority of your GP for minor is going towards King Yield on the first few nodes. So you would King Yield, hit rocks, kick rocks. Next node, King Yield, kick rocks. High cordial, next node, King Yield, and then you're raw dogging it from the rest of the way. And hoping that you get to the nodes in time, because again, with minor botanists, you are running from node to node. So that's the one thing that really gets you in those time missions is just running from node to node and hoping you get there in time to have enough time left. Some of the other ones have been you only have 8 nodes and you have to gather the requisite number of materials per material, and usually it's 3. 2 of them are 15, one of them is 20. And even then, once you gather those, you just met the requirement for the mission. That's not even silver. You still have to get more than that. You still have to get more than they accumulate points. And it's okay, you're done. No, you're not done. You want gold? You still got 4 nodes left or 3 nodes left. You need about maybe, I don't know. Let's say you need about, I'd say 15 to 25 of a certain map to get the points, requisite points. So again, you're at the mercy of, do I have GP? Can I boost up the Gatherer's Boon to where I'm getting multiple on a node instead of
singles on like each hit? Or do I have enough for King Shield and can I get more to accumulate more points? We are at the mercy of GP. Please let us reset our GP after each fucking mission, please. Please. We are gulping fucking high cordials like it's going out of fucking style.
Yeah, that's right. I see. Here's the thing, though. I don't know necessarily that I want GP to be easier so much as I want more methods with which I can regain it. Like, if I, like, we'll get into it in a little bit, but even the Cosmic Fortunes only giving normal cordials is such a fucking dick smash. I can't even believe it. Like, do you know what I'm going through out here? And you have the balls to put a regular ass cordial on the fucking Cosmic Fortune? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Like, I need Estus Flask. That's what I need. I need an Estus Flask for my GP. And then I can upgrade the Estus Flask through, like, you know, like, I don't know, just doing certain missions, like spending research data on it. I need something that occasionally I'm just going to go back to base and refill my cordials. So, because for fishing, you're mentioning those woes. For fishing, probably the single most important thing they could have done for us, they took away. In that your angler's arts go away after every mission. Which means you can't hold on to angler's arts to use for GP.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
The silver lining is that before you actually turn it in, you can just use them before the mission ends if you have enough. So if you have like 6 or 7 and then you're done catching, before you click report, you just press the button however many times you have, which is something, except that I'm chumming all over the place, so it doesn't even begin to make up for the amount of GP that I just spent praying I even got the right fish, because the amount of GP I spend, it depends on how quickly I catch the fish and how many times I have to chum to even remotely catch the fish. So, yeah, them taking away angler's arts was really, really rude when you're done with a mission. That was the one thing. And especially it means you can't, like, another thing it means is you can't do a stellar mission, prep loon, and this is why they took it away probably. You can't prep angler's arts in one easy mission to then go do the harder mission with 10 angler's arts to do like big fishing. Like, they want you to have to earn any angler's arts you need to use those skills in the actual class. Like, it's factored into it. So it's a time. It's definitely a time. Not to mention that if you're doing, and this gets into something that they actually did a very poor job of explaining. It's in the patch notes, and they technically mention it briefly in game, but sequential missions make the GP demand even worse.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
So at the very least, if you give me my GP back for sequential missions, I won't complain.
Yeah.
But no, give me a Loprit Estus, a carrot-shaped Estus flask, please. That I can just chug from every once in a while on top of my cordials. Or, like, give me Cosmic GP regen.
Cosmic GP.
Honestly, if they made me work towards unlocking something like Cosmic, I would be like, yo, I'm fucking doing that right now. Play whatever. Yo, researching way, what do you need from me for, like, just tell me. Like, what can I do to make you give me Cosmic GP regeneration? Anything. Like, I will do the work. I don't care. It'll be worth it. Okay? Please, for the love of God, give me an answer. And then it gets especially funny when you... So it's not as big a deal when you're doing some of the other things. I won't jump ahead, but we'll get to that when the time comes. But yeah, most of our streams are with gathering. And it's funny, again, just crafting was just... Everyone's just like, I don't know, dude. I just Googled the macro and it worked. And I was like, yo, that's fucking great for you. All right? How about when you have to gather the materials? We'll see how you're feeling about it when you have to gather the materials. All right? Then you can fucking
Even then, that's not bad.
Don't say it's not bad. There are some really bad ones in there.
Oh, which ones? Okay.
The fishing ones. The fishing ones where you have to A, pray for the correct fish, B, find out that apparently it can be triple hooked, even though almost everything can't be. And then you need 21 fish and to craft 3 items in 3 HQ items in 6 minutes. And you're like, I'm just going to do a different one. It's gonna Like, honestly, I will say this with crafting, though. Crafting is the best form of GP regeneration because you run out of GP, you swap to the crafter, you do a few of those, and then you swap back to your cat. That's it. That's your best form of GP regeneration. So yeah, those are the basic gathering woes. And again, I don't think crafting has woes other than people not really like me not knowing how to craft and then having to figure out that everyone just Googles it. That's the worst part about the crafting bit, in all honesty. And that's not bad at all. Who cares? Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Yeah. Listen, if I'm telling you not to be a bitch about crafting, then you know I mean it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's fair. So that goes, then we go to the other activities that are there. You have the mech ops, which are pretty easy. They're barely even like crafting or gathering related. It's more like you mentioned earlier, it's like the Ishgard feats / fates, fetes. Bunch of people can go not on mechs and they just like contribute a little bit. And when you complete it, you get your next 20 stellar missions, give a little bit more rewards. It's cool. And then if you get selected for the mech, then you have a chance of getting a reward, or you get a reward at the end on top of getting more credits. You can outright get them out as the mech selector instead of having to Gamba for it. You at the very least get the Gamba token. You can get the suit. You can get a lot of the stuff in the Gamba outright from being a mech recipient. So it ends up being incredibly worth doing. But it's probably the least important thing that Cosmic even asks you to do. It's probably like the least exciting thing that happens in all of Cosmic Exploration is the mech ops, because there's only 2 and they're not like that engaging.
Right.
I don't know if you feel the same way. I feel like mech ops are the least important thing about what they added in Cosmic.
Well, it depends. I say it depends. They're quick, they're fun, they're low involvement. They're very low involvement unless you are an actual mech pilot. Very low involvement. If you are not a mech pilot, you're just doing a random thing for the majority of the time. I feel like they serve a purpose.
Well, they do. I mean, the reward from being the mech pilot's really good. And if you're not the mech pilot, getting the stellar mission bonus if you run out of the bonus. I will say this. Probably the most important thing, and it's jumping ahead, is getting that bonus probably before a red alert, because it does work on the red alert stellar missions. So you do get a little bit of a bonus in lunar credits for that. But the bonus is so small that I just, honestly, if I do not get selected, I practically don't even go to mech ops anymore.
I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but honestly, I'm not using a lot of my, I'm hardly using my currency at all, because I'm pretty much stacking it to kind of blow my load. How you doing? On the fortune.
Well, I basically spend 1,000 on the mech and then don't spend anything else unless I'm going to overcap. In which case, then I will go actually spin a fortune. Great example.
Yeah.
I have the cosmic fishing tool. I do have it. And I had 3,600 lunar credits when a red alert started. I overcapped that red alert. Like, I straight up overcapped it by like 400. So I now know I need to have like under 2,500 probably, or like under 3K if I want to not overcap on those. And honestly, I probably could have done it faster. I probably could have overcapped by more. So that's the big thing, is like I get so many lunar credits that I actually kind of have to consider spending them, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Because they're not that hard to get. And whenever a red alert happens, yeah, you're walking away with so many thousands of lunar credits that might as well just drop 1,000 on the mech, try to get the mech. And if you don't, then just whatever, hold on to the ticket and go. But yeah, the mech, like I said, the mech thing is just like, if you get selected for a mech, the credits you get are fine. The extra cosmic you get is fine. The chance at the rewards is fine. But if you're not selected, the boost you get is not that significant to the point where it's hard for me to motivate myself to actually go to a mech op.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with those. I think that if anything needs work, they probably need to put it into mech ops, either more variety or better, or some sort of better integration, more significant stellar mission rewards, or the buff lasting a certain amount of time instead of a certain amount of missions, or some sort of bonus for already having the bonus and doing it again, other than refreshing the. I don't know. Something else probably needs to give with the mech ops, especially if you don't get selected. At least I think so. GP regen buff from mech ops. There you go.
There you go.
GP regen buff and or CP costs reduction buff. That would be wild to get a fucking CP cost reduction.
Oof.
Yeah, crafters would be like, I already have the macro. What does that matter? 10%.
Yeah, look, like if you didn't. By the way, if you didn't know, there is a sheet like for all the crafters for everything. Right now, there legit is a sheet from the balance, mind you, for pretty much all the A missions, criticals, yada yada yada. So. Balance already has it. Congratulations, you won the game.
Yeah. Or you just do what I did and do the hard work yourself and put the stuff into the macro creator for yourself. The hard stuff, doing,
the hard work.
Yeah, the hard work of putting in. Listen, I didn't know what they meant by like progress quality. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? They were like, oh, there's a valid progress quality of 61. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I guess that just ties to the number. I had to figure all that out for myself. I put in the work.
Welcome to the fucking show, Happy. God damn it. All these years when I keep saying, Haps, you should probably, craft your own stuff. Nah, I can pay people for that shit. That.
You're out of your fucking mind.
I can pay people for that shit. No. It's not for, I mean, yes, to help make money a little bit, shit, but it's kind of to learn the shit. He's like, nah, I don't need to learn that shit. I pay people for that shit. There you go. If you have money, you win the game. Which, to be fair, you do. But still.
My money purchased the items to turn in the quest to get the manipulation, except for like the last two in Stormblood. So, Train Die Groundwork did the work for me there. I didn't have to actually give a shit about anything there. I'm just saying.
This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. This is the bullshit I'm talking about.
Listen, somebody else did the harder work of making a macro creator, and I did the hard work of putting in what my recipes demanded of me. So, and then somebody else did the work of compiling all that, and now I don't need to learn anything.
What happens when your macro fucks? Like when your macro literally fucks up. Let's say, I don't know, because
then it fails and I move on with my life because it's crafting and I don't give a shit.
So there will be instances where there's a lag spike and an ability does not hit. That is an important ability.
Sly, if there's a lag spike, that means that your wait timer was too short because you cared more about efficiency than accuracy. That's what that means.
No, it does happen every now and then, and you have to unfuck it.
Yeah, but if the macro misses,
you just got to know. You just have to know how to unfuck it. You just have to know how to unfuck something.
You don't have to know anything.
In the case,
just start over. Sly, these are crafts that don't cost me anything. What do I care if they?
I mean, that's true. That's true. Oh, okay, that's true. But in the case of gatherers, where it's like the gatherer crafter missions where you gather your own shit. Like, what if you didn't gather enough shit and you're like, oh shit, I actually need, I don't have enough time. I need this craft to fucking stick. Also, I have to go hit another fucking rock. Shit like that.
Yeah, but I'm never going to craft outside of here, so it doesn't matter. Oh no, the items I didn't spend any money on or gather fucked up and I have to do it again. Oh, let me go to the menu and select it again and they'll just put it all back in my inventory. I don't need to learn anything. But yeah, also, if you set the wait timer long enough, if you set the wait timer to the minimum the animation goes and you have a tick, yes, I know you'll fail that. But if you set the wait timer a second longer, your lag spike would have to be so significant that anything you would have done in the game would have probably been fucked in the same capacity. So in other words, you just get better internet.
Wow. Happy. Mrhappy.
Get a better connection. It's that easy. It's the same thing I've been telling machinists for years, right?
Wow.
It's just that easy.
Wow.
Yeah, every time I dodge something, I'm like, I don't see what the problem is. That's how the game is played. I'm going to, gonna pay for that one day, but
You really are. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that fucking day.
It's going to be fantastic.
It sure is.
I raided on the East Coast a couple weeks ago, and it felt like I was still playing on the West Coast. Honestly, I didn't notice a difference. The latency is inside of me, is the thing.
Okay.
The latency,
sure, Jan.
The server is in my heart, and it's always
sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Sure.
So Mech not very interesting, but the red alerts are a lot more fun. The red alerts are definitely.
Speaking of which, I'm doing one right now.
I heard there was one going on for you right now. I saw someone mention it in chat, and I was like, "Oh, Sly's doing that. I know he is."
Sure am. So the red alerts. So go ahead.
Red alerts are great. Red alerts, they give you 5 different crafters and gatherers that have to fill 2 separate bars. 3 are tied to one, 2 are tied to the other. You fill the bar, but you're just spamming a stellar mission that is in a really concentrated. Even if you're gathering, it's concentrated to a really small area. And you just do the turn-ins there, and you get a ton of lunar credits, you get a ton of Cosmo credits. You get a lot of overall credit for the total contributions as well, which is a big part of earning them out. There's bonuses for doing each of them one time. There's achievement work that's on it. It's very fast-paced and rewarding. And as soon as it's done, everyone heads to the Cosmic Fortunes and gets a gambling. And everyone who starts pulling out good shit, it's like a giant Gamba Fest right afterwards.
It sure is. I'm holding on to my credits, honestly. I'm holding on to them till I fill up.
Yeah, the big thing is I don't have the ability. I don't even have tools for my I shit you not, Sly. All of my crafters and my gatherers, this isn't true. All my crafters, because I don't craft, other than Culinarian because of coffee biscuits, they all had level 1 tools at level 90.
Oh, honey.
I had to get tools.
What are all your what level do all your gatherers look like? What's the across the board? What's the average?
They're all either 90 or 100. I always get every job to max every expansion. But how I get my crafters to max is I pay someone to make me items, and then I go to the Leave Quest NPC and turn them in.
So what you're saying is you will need gear for this.
Well, I have level 90 gear and level 100 gear, but I don't have tools.
No, did someone make you the Everseeker gear?
I had some of it. Somebody made me the Everseeker gear for Gather, or whatever the gathering equivalent is. Somebody made me literally a full set.
So you need the Everseeker crafters and main hands off hands. Got it. Okay. I volunteer as tribute.
I'll just make
I'm your friend.
What are you talking about? Dude, I didn't even ask chat to make the fishing ones. And they just said, "Oh, here you go." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." I didn't. All right.
This is why.
See, but that's Sly. Here's the whole point. I have the money.
I know you do. So do I.
I just
high five.
For it. That's the beauty. I didn't even notice my guild go down.
Yep.
It's just that easy.
Yeah, I know.
So, no biggie. Honestly, Sly, the bigger concern is I need to get manipulation on every single fucking crafter. That's the bigger problem.
That's the biggest fucking concern.
That's real. That's a big
You fucking bum. You don't have manipulation 2.
Nobody has manipulation 2, Sly. They got rid of manipulation 2. They replaced manipulation 2 with manipulation 1 and made it level 65. It's not my fault that they just decided to add 50 levels to manipulation, Sly. They did that. That was their decision, not mine. They did that.
Yep.
But you know what, Sly? I got money. I'll just buy all the items.
Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that.
I got money. I got Gil.
Yeah. You got Gil.
The Stormblood ones, they just hand you the material too. At that point, they're just like, fuck it, don't even go gather. Just make it right in front of me. Trained eye, groundwork done. Easy. Yeah, it's so good. Never punished. Only punished with a small amount of time. Proud of me.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I'm proud of me. I wasn't asking you.
I mean, I know you're proud of yourself, but okay, sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
I sleep swimmingly. So red alerts, really solid rewards. And the main thing that you'll use it on is cosmic fortunes. And these bunnies don't fucking like me, Sly.
I don't like nobody.
My luck has been abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. The biggest reward I got was Sophie went, I want metallic pink dye. And so I played it twice. I got metallic pink dye twice in a row. So she influenced my roll. And that's about it. That's the only success I've had.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else has been magicked prisms and fucking cordials. Which, to be fair, do kind of need. But why are you making that face?
I just realized another thing that needs to be rectified.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm just veering off.
Excuse me?
I'm just veering off of what we're talking about right now.
Oh, beaming off. I thought you said beating off. I was like, why Sly?
Yeah.
It's not that kind of show. Beaming. Okay. Got it.
So let's say, for instance, because there are already things in place for things like this. Let's say, for instance, that everything has a timer, right? Everything has a timer. But you are in the middle of a gather, or you are in the middle of a craft. So let's say, for instance, you're in the middle of a craft.
I know where this is going.
You have a Tsane up, or you have a food up. And for some reason, that shit expires in the middle of the craft. It doesn't expire until you finish the craft. However, in Cosmic Exploration, if you're in the middle of a craft or you're in the middle of a node, well, if you're in the middle of a node as a gatherer, that shit just kicks you out the node, bar none. If you're in the middle of a craft, however, you can complete the craft. It will not count towards your points. And I think that's pretty fucked. That the time will expire, but you're in the middle of a fucking craft. I think that's
I'll one up you. I'll one up you on this, Sly.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of pulling the fish with the pulling animation.
There you go.
I've missed silver by 1 second. I've missed the completion by 1 second.
Yep.
Fish on the line don't count. Fish on the line don't count.
So yeah, they really need to rectify that. Because if potions like Tsane's or food doesn't fall off until you finish the craft, why should you be able to finish the craft and it doesn't count?
All I know is, Sly, is that it hates me.
It hates everybody.
And Sly, are you ready for more fire alarms going off? Because apparently your server is about to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here.
Yep.
19-minute timer. Have fun with that. We might even be done with.
No, the 19-minute timer. So that's a Mech Ops. Never mind.
What?
Yeah, that's a Mech Ops.
Mech Ops
is
a 19-minute timer, Sly. That's your server.
18.
Operating.
Mechs will be deployed shortly. Supporting personnel, please report to the directive's designated location. Flashing Mech Ops, 18 minutes, 22 seconds.
Oh, it's a broken Mech Ops? Oh, it's a bug. I was going to say, what if the next upgrade requires mechs?
Yeah. So yeah, it must be the upgrade. Let me check our progress. Oh, it's not. It is not. We have not
No.
filled the bar yet.
All right,
No,
getting
it's
there.
not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was taking chat and they were like, "Oh yeah, we have the upgrade coming soon."
Yeah.
Have fun with that. Yeah, there's also been some bugs with like mech ops not showing up for like 4 or 5 hours on some servers, or red alerts and mech ops just completely halting. So my bug, that bug, there's been a couple of display bugs as well I've seen.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think the main thing that Cosmic Exploration is really is aiming to do, it is accurately achieving, is
What's
that
that?
everyone has the same feelings, same thoughts while they're doing it, while they're in there doing it. They're all doing it. They're grinding out. It's a very social experience.
I will agree with that. Now, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, sometimes it's easy to forget when you're playing Final Fantasy 15 that you are playing an MMO.
You are. We remember the days of what was it? It was what was the expansion? I want to say it wasn't Stormblood. It was no. It was. I'm talking about the expansion where we Yoshi P added all this. You know, you can do all this shit alone. Expansion. The solo
yeah,
wolf
Shadowbringer
expansion.
started Trust, and then Endwalker is what did all of A Realm Reborn. Yeah, Endwalker was the full like A Realm Reborn. Actually, was it Endwalker? Was it 6.1? Yeah, 6.1 was when they added flying, wasn't it? In A Realm Reborn.
Yeah,
and then they did all the.
So yeah, like we've had the, you know, it's an MMO, but you can do shit by yourself expansion. We've had that. But yes, this is an MMO. This is an MMO, but this has been largely social. There have been I mean, to be fair, there are conversations everywhere in Final Fantasy 14. Hell, I fucking hate Hunt Train chat for the life of me. I can't stand it. It is so unhinged. But, you know, this has been, you know, largely social too. It has been a lot of memey. It's been, you know, everybody's been fucking stressed the fuck out. Hell, earlier today, people were talking about SMT in the fucking Cosmic Exploration chat. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. Like we were just fucking working. We were just hitting rocks, punching trees, all that jazz, and just fucking there vibing. So yeah, it is largely social.
Yeah,
it is largely social. We're stressed the fuck out, but it's largely social.
Well, the big thing is that was the main benefit of Ishgard as well. Eureka and Bozia also, even within your zone, you would always come in, find shout chats, people talking in the middle of missions after they were dead, before they were dead, trying to like shout. Like day one, I was letting people know you could use the Mech Op NPC to teleport to the Mech Op instead of walking to it. I saw other people like during red alerts, like, oh, if you're doing fishing, do this. This is the highest chance of getting the fish without using identical cast. And like I've seen a lot of that, and that's something you only get when people are actually in the same location, and it's never mentors that are sharing the useful things.
Well, I feel like this has a different vibe than the Firmament, than the Ishgard Restoration. Like this has a totally different vibe. Because while there is competition, like it was mainly competition within Ishgard Restoration. You want to get big on that leaderboard. You want to be, you know, the saint of the firmament, yada yada yada. This one feels largely cooperative. And yes, there is competition to be the best every day, and I largely agree with them doing that instead of, you know, making it like a certain period of, you know, you do this across a period, you are the saint of the firmament. Like, whereas it highlights someone new every day. And that's awesome. So it makes it less of a competition and more cooperative. And I think that's why this is succeeding more than the firmament.
Yeah, as chat puts it out, people weren't literally the people aren't stressing to death over their crafting. They're just stressing a little bit. Those 14 days in Ishgard were a very different vibe to the vibe that there is on the moon.
Yeah. Now, Haps, this begs the question, because you know this is going to come up. It's already come up. Knowing what we know now about this, like having experienced this, Do you think this at the beginning, of Dawn Trail, would have satisfied us to the point where we would have been okay with that? The content drought that usually happens after the first initial patch. Do you think we would have been okay? We would have this would have completely whet our appetite. We would be doing this until 7.1, still doing this until 7.2, or whenever we get the next planet. Do you think it would have changed things for the better?
Well, here's the thing. If we had this in 7.0X, we'd have 2 planets by now as well. So that the issue is not about this exact piece of content holding us over from one period to the next. It's that it would have been a constant additions on top of that patch to patch. I still think that Chaotic, as great as it was, this should have been in play. This should have been where Chaotic was if they were going to do it post release. Because Chaotic was not something that was promised. Nobody would have missed it if it wasn't there. Whereas Cosmic was something people knew and were anticipating for, about a year before it ever happened. And then they had to wait till now. So, and now people are just complaining that we got Cosmic before Occult. I've had plenty of people coming into my stream like, why would they do this before?
Yeah, still, and there's that.
Yeah, which is, we've had nothing but raid content the entire expansion. So for me, it's just like, yeah, I get we all want the thing that we enjoy the most. Obviously, I enjoy, Bozia style content more than this.
Right.
But I also think we needed something that something that wasn't just more battle content, because Forked Tower is kind of going to be the big thing for Occult Crescent, working on all your rocks. Having more objective-oriented content early is really the most important thing. And for this, this is something that I feel is easier to appeal to people with than Occult, which, let's be honest, as much as I like exploration-style content, specifically Eureka and Bozia, not this, it's also been divisive the entire time as well. When Occult comes out, people are going to complain about exploration content not really being for most players, and then they'll shut the fuck up and get in there because they want their relics, and we don't care what they have to say anymore. Because if you're going to do the content, then you're either doing the content to form the opinion, or you form the opinion and then don't do the content. But if you form the opinion and do the content, nobody gives a shit what you're saying, because you're a number. At that point, you're just a number, right? All they give is they're like, wow, 400,000 subscribers decided to do this content. If 150,000 of them are just like, grr, I hate this, I'm going to do it anyway. They don't fucking care if you were, grr, I hate this. They might okay, well, they got some feedback. Let's see if we can make it better. And that's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
So it's, it would have helped. I think saying anything in addition to what we had would have helped. There's just the core.
Obviously it would have, but that's been the constant conversation is, well, what if we got Occult Crescent first? What if we got, Cosmic Exploration? Would it have been different? Of course it would have been different. Of course we would have shit to do. We would have had shit to do, but it's just a matter of which one would, in my opinion, it's a matter of which one would have fit better. And I think Cosmic Exploration would definitely fit better.
Here's the thing. If we have to also take them kind of on the surface of what is promised now for both of them versus what maybe would have been different. So we may not have gotten a planet every patch, for example, if Cosmic came out earlier. Entirely possible that we would have gotten it in, let's say 7.0, and then not gotten a planet at 7.1, and then got a planet at 7.3. The whole release schedule cadence could have changed. If we got it in 7.1, maybe they would have skipped a planet in 7.2 and then done Occult Crescent and then done planets in 3, 4, 5. And then with Occult Crescent, we're only getting the zone next month and then getting another zone in 0.5. Even if they are adding things in between, we don't understand how that affects the relic grind yet with only one zone. We don't know how the grind for the relic outside of Occult Crescent is what is actually going to be the factor there. We don't know how much time we're going to spend on fantasy. There's a lot of unknowns, so it's one of those things that when we go back and we see how it's fully executed, we'll probably have a better way to judge about how they could go about this, because the whole reason we're even having this discussion is my very frequent concern about them making promises in fan festivals and then taking a year after the actual expansion their advertising comes out to do those things. Beastmaster they should have never even mentioned. They just shouldn't have even mentioned Beastmaster. Yeah, it's cool that you're planning on doing it at some point, but bring it up in like an interview randomly and not make it like something you bring up on stage when we won't even see it until 0.4x or 0.5x.
But they need to draw the hype, Happy. They need to draw the hype. People have been expecting Beastmaster for how many years, Happy, including you.
I haven't been expecting shit. I thought that Blue Mage was going to be the only limited job we ever got. I was surprised.
You knew that we were going to get another
No, I liked
job.
Blue Mage, but I couldn't see a justification for adding another limited job. I couldn't find the justification for that happening. So we'll just have to see. Yeah, we heard about Raid Planner at FanFest, and now we're still waiting on that. Like, that's the thing. It's like the problem is talking about things at a fan festival and like 90% of it having to like, it's wait. So that's the thing. For me, it's not even about the timing. It's about it's like, you just need to, don't bring things up until they're going to be delivered. And if you need to, then focus on delivering them within a closer to expansion launch time frame.
So what you're saying is you would rather, okay, let's just say they don't mention it at all. Let's just say, they don't mention, Beastmaster or anything like that, anything, relatively buzzworthy at a fan fest. And what you're saying is you would rather be, surprised about it, like at a random, on a random live letter. You would rather be, slightly surprised about it rather than, expecting it from years on.
I'm just saying, if you're going to bring up something, focus on bringing it somewhat closer to expansion launch, because I think you create more disdain by bringing it up and telling everyone it'll be a year after the expansion comes out. Because then everyone's just like, okay, well then what about that before that? And then they're like, well, you have MSQ, you have the normal raids, it's like, okay, but I've been doing that for years. Like, that's fine. But like, I can do a lot of that stuff in like a day. And, maybe I just log in once per week, and then they're just like, okay, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to bring it up, make it happen faster. And if it's not going to happen faster, don't bring it up yet.
Well, then again, they're at the mercy of timing. Because like with them, like yeah, that's the thing. Like, so either you announce it at something big like a fan fest, or you announce it in a random live letter.
That's fine. I mean, we learned about Chaotic in a random live letter, and that was a big surprise.
To be fair, we kind of knew about Chaotic before.
We knew about it like a month and a half before, but we didn't know exactly what, because they kept mentioning Savage large scale content, and a lot of people thought that was just going to be a Cult Crescent.
Right.
Like, they thought it was going to be like a new BA equivalent, which technically we did get, but it's just, it is very not encouraging. I won't even say it's discouraging. It's not encouraging when you talk about something at the first fan festival or the second fan festival, and then you have to wait for the expansion launch, and then another. You could just die in that time. Who knows if you'll be alive to see it even. Like, I don't want to look at something and be like, I could get hit by a bus. That's a lot of more chances to get hit by a bus before that even comes out.
Knock on wood, man. Jesus Christ.
That's a bit.
We don't want you to get hit by Truck Coon and get isekai. Jesus Christ, man.
What if I get isekai into the patch that actually has the content?
Oh my God.
That's like time traveling at that point. I get into a coma and I wake up and they're like, oh, like, when's patch? They're like, next week. I'll be like, yes.
God. That's fucking terrible.
That's actually very much drawn from a skit that I saw on Conan. I forgot, it's a very old comedian where he talks about his kid being like, you're really old and you're not gonna be around for most of my life, are you? And he's just like, son, you don't know that. You could go out and die tomorrow, and I could outlive you. It's very much drawn from that same level of comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point where they announced 7 Remake, and I was like, I just gotta live that long at least, It's like, I just like, life's all right, but like, I gotta make sure I live at least that long,
Yeah, dude, I'm just trying to make it to the next fucking SMT MMO. That's it. Like, if I make it to the next SMT MMO, I'm good.
what's the name of the grandmother who does the Bethesda stuff? How she was like she wants to make sure she plays Elder Scrolls 6 before she passes. I can't remember. It's a pretty.
I know who you're
popular
talking
thing.
about. I can't remember her though. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like that, but I'm way too. Yeah. Grandma gaming. Yeah, Skyrim. Yeah, I remember. I have that feeling, except that I'm not in my 80s because life is chaotic and random.
Yeah. By the time they release an SMT MMO, I'm gonna be in my fucking 50s. My God, come on, Atlas, please. I want to at least be in my 40s when you do this shit. Please. I've already mapped out what you should be able to do. Hell, put me on the planning team. I already know how the first 3 expansions should go. Hell, first 4. First fucking 4 expansions. Spoiler alert, the 4th one is a Persona expansion. There you go. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, now just develop it from scratch. Sly easy.
Easy. Fucking easy.
Just fund it and get it done. I don't see the problem. Anyway, that was my point.
Anyway,
they shouldn't announce things so far in advance. And timing this earlier, in every situation, timing this earlier is better. Even if the release cadence it wasn't entirely the same, it still would have been better. Because here's the thing: let's say they skipped 7.2x for a planet, Occult Crescent would have been out this week. That would have been the replacement.
And you know Occult Crescent would have tied us over to the next planet. Like people would be like, and like you said, people would be doing, and going back on what you said, and I disagree with you at first. Yeah, people would still do it. Like I'll agree with you. People would be doing Occult Crescent to the cows come home, even though there's no leveling attached to it, which I still fucking hate. But I still think people would do it. I mean, with this, there's leveling attached to it. People can get in on this anytime. And that's why I feel like this is the better of the 2 options, because there's leveling attached to it. You can level the jobs there. With Occult Crescent, it's a deviation. But I still think,
I mean, that's the same as
like
Eureka.
Going back. Yeah, it's the same as Eureka, but there was leveling attached to Eureka too.
Well, no, there wasn't. You can't level in Eureka. You have to, you're leveling for Eureka in Eureka. That's still here. That's knowledge levels and elemental levels are the same thing, but you can't level from.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Bajja. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Bajja.
Yeah, no, but this is like Eureka. So it's not as exactly. Yeah. We had 2 case examples, one with leveling, one without, and they went with one without this time.
Yeah. Which again, I kind of hate. Like, I kind of think they should have given this the Bajja treatment.
I mean, because we'll find out. Eureka had the better lifespan than Bajja, so it's a question of, does this repeat that success?
I mean, people are still doing Bajja.
That's not even remotely questionable that Eureka has a better lifespan.
People are still doing Bajja 2 level. Like
doing is one thing. The amount of good luck doing Dalriada and Delubrum and any of that shit.
Oh yeah, like fuck. Oh yeah. We know that. But people are still just going into Bajja just to say, hey, I'm just gonna do.
Yeah, I go into Linzalo, but I wouldn't say that it's a functional city for me. I go into fucking Whole Foods, and I'm not gonna give them credit for existing. Be like, oh, it's going into the Whole Foods after all,
Wow, that's your comparison, like Whole Foods. Yo, their breakfast
you go someplace doesn't mean it's stupendous.
Their breakfast do be lit though. I ain't gonna lie. I love their bacon.
I never go to Whole Foods for the bacon. I go to Whole Foods to lazy shop instead of going to a grocery store.
The breakfast bar, albeit the breakfast bar is expensive as shit, but it's fucking worth it because it's good. I mean, I love Waffle House, but goddamn, Whole Foods be fucking slapping, dude.
Sly. Okay, yeah. So here's the difference. People go into Eureka to do Eureka. People go into Bozia to AFK at 5 fates and not play the game.
Yeah. Okay, they're gonna play the game, especially if it's Red Comet. They have to play the game.
No, they don't go to Red Comet. They go to Zone 3 in Zadnor and fucking wait. That's what they do. There's 5 fates. They go between all of them, and they jerk off to whatever's on the other monitor while they're waiting. That is how like 90% of Bosians do it.
Wow. They're calling Bosians fucking. He's calling Bosians fucking gooners, man. He's calling you a fucking.
They got a second monitor for sure.
They could be watching Netflix.
Chat's like, I jerk off.
They could be watching Netflix,
then they could be jerking off to it.
Terrible, fucking terrible.
I like how you haven't really argued against my point.
Again, because like I'm not arguing against it because I actually agree with you that it's going to get utilized better. It's going to get people are still going to fucking do it. Like it's going to have like the lifespan of Occult Crescent, and hell, we're getting another one in 7.5. So the lifespan of Occult Crescent will exist until 7.5.
No, it won't. It'll continue to exist. As Eureka has proven, it will continue to exist after, because you're going to have to.
I mean, like, yeah, because people will have to, because 7.5, the 7.5 will continue it. So people will have to do it to get into the 7.5. So I get what you're saying. I don't think
you know how Eureka works if you think that's how simple it is. Because all four of the Eureka zones are regularly populated for a number of reasons.
All right, give me the reasons.
Different drops in each zone. Most people have different relic steps that require being done in each zone. A lot of people...
Okay, relics.
Yeah, relics. The different loots, don't forget, people rotate between Pyros, people rotate between Pagos, people rotate between Hydatos. Hydatos is BA. BA keeps Hydatos plenty busy, especially while people are waiting for BA. Pyros buns are probably the most AFK'd at ones, but Pagos buns are really good for a lot of the same stuff. Pagos, what are they called? Mutation farming, excellent for Gil as well, so people will go there to do that. So, and then Hydatos also has its own bun, so sometimes people rotate between them. Onimos people go to for challenge logs when they're actually leveling, because it's much easier to do.
So you're talking from a Gil
standpoint.
I have
every relic! I know this better than you!
Okay, like from a relic standpoint, great. Yeah,
I mean, I've spent way more time. I've spent way more time in both of these zones.
From a relic standpoint, great and good. But from a Gil standpoint,
it's even better.
I need to see this. I need to do a Lucky Bond show or something myself and just like, yo, how much Gil are you making right now? Like, just go in there. How much Gil are you making?
Poetics, that too. Yeah, I did all my fucking poetic farming in there as well. I don't care about that. Yeah. People literally just go Crab to Cassie, and then they zone into Pyros. There are people who just Gil path through all of Eureka, and that's all they do. They literally will they'll go into Pyros, spawn all three bosses, leave, go to Pagos because the weather's coming up, leave, then go to Hydatos and catch the 3 NMs. Then
sold the Pyros mount for 125 mil in Dawn Trail. Dawn Trail.
Nobody's buying the Pyros mount for 125 mil. That's not true.
You must be on a fucking cracked server. You must be on a low pop server.
Well, you would have to be on Dynamis, and even then, no one in their right fucking mind would pay 125 million for Eld Thurs, which is the Pyros mount, to be clear. The most expensive item there is probably the Blitz ring or the Cassie earrings still. And also, I'm pretty sure Eld Thurs comes from Grand Company boxes now as a possibility. Ain't nobody paying 125 million for Eld Thurs. That's not. And on his peak, I sold Eld Thurs for 11 million.
It was a meme price from Stormblood that ended up selling. What can I say? Okay.
Well, it ain't on Dynamis. Somebody does that. I've seen people sell the gold mounts for 55 million gil when you could buy them from the vendor for 50. So anything's possible. I've totally seen
anything's possible. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
But no, I mean literally
the market board exists for a reason.
The amount of activity in Eureka is significantly higher. The amount of activity for BA is significantly higher.
I mean, yeah, like BA's BA, like BA, Delubrum, yeah, like
No,
shit's gonna exist for
Delubrum's. The amount of playthrough Delubrum sees is like a fucking tenth of the playthrough because there's just no reason to do it. There's no good reason. There's like
other than to do it.
Yeah,
which would be my reason.
Yeah, except that BA people A like to do it. B, it's easier to coordinate, and C, they're guaranteed making a few 100,000 gil every run. So whereas Delubrum is harder because normally you need to have people who actually can prog it and do it. Even though you could spam it over and over again, unless you have a farm group, and if they're farm groups, most people aren't doing farm groups for Delubrum. Yeah. And people want the Ozma mount more than they want Cerberus to boot. So Occult's
what?
Doing a lot of things right. But anyway, back to the moon. This is our first patch for the moon.
Haunted.
It's our first patch for the moon. Yes, it's haunted. My only remaining question is where do they go to the other, like, not where do they go planet wise? Like, I don't care. Like, I hope they don't go to planets we've already been to be frank. I don't want to see a civilization I've already seen in any capacity. I want to see 3 brand new planets.
More than likely they're going to build, like, I think they're going to build on the lore of some planets, like some planets that like we've been to because
we only have 3 planets, Sly. I don't want to go to any planet because only people from space we know, all their worlds are dead. So I don't want to go to their world. So, like, maybe if there's a planet that's not dead, but all the Ultima Thule race, their fucking planets are dead. Okay? We shouldn't be able to find them. So, that's number one. But I wasn't even going to mean that. In terms of making this a piece of content that actually gradually improves over time, what do you think they could do that isn't just build another base with exactly the same structure again 3 more times?
When you compare this to other, content like this, Dome and Enclave, Ishgard Restoration, it's going to function largely the same. So it's not going to deviate from that, like largely. It's not. There's no way it can. There's only a certain things that they can do to make it deviate. There's like maybe a little bit of quality of life after this. Yeah, like. I could see the shit that we're saying today for what we should see in this would probably be on the second planet where we get like, GP restoration after each mission. Yeah, I could probably see that. Like quality of life. 2 from a lore. I mean, honestly, I don't give a shit about the lore. I'm just here to. They could allow us to make money besides the fortunes. I mean, the fortunes is like one way of making money. You got to remember, Ishgard Restoration had many ways to make money. Like, we could make bank off Ishgard Restoration. Largely in part, the only way to do that from Cosmic Exploration is your fortune. Housing? No. There's no way we get planetary housing. Shit. We can't even fucking solve... Yeah, we can't even solve fucking current housing. What the fuck How the fuck do you think we're going to get planetary housing? That's not going to solve that shit. No, people want, more shit that's within, a theorist. Like, going to another planet will not solve this. And no, I don't want to live on another planet. Fuck that. No, I'll take Shirogane a whole day of the week other than, no. So no, fuck that. No. But again, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Quality of life. Don't give a shit about lore. Allow us to make money. Allow us to make money out of this besides fortunes. Like we should have more avenues for making gil. Because again, Ishgard Restoration had fucking plenty. What our only avenue is fortunes? Okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll see more options in that regard. I mean, having different fortunes per planet even begins to divulge what's possible.
Yeah, it diversifies it a little bit more. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm also willing to say I actually haven't looked, and I think you can do. Can you buy materia with regular Cosmo credits? I haven't looked,
dude. I haven't gone to the Cosmo credit vendor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
At all.
That was a good minimum. I was like, as long as you can do that,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
a good minimum. All right.
Okay. Wait. You say yes. You say yes. Cosmo credits per materia. What are we looking at?
I don't care how many it is because I have nothing else to spend them on. So.
I mean, true. Other than your fortunes.
No. Cosmo, not lunar credits. The regular ass Cosmo credits. The ones you have like 40,000 of.
Yeah. What? Okay. Yeah. What can you buy Cosmo? Like, what can you buy with Cosmo credits?
900 a piece for. Yeah, I'll take that. 900. Yeah, that's fucking great. I'm buying all my materia with Cosmo credits. Some new dyes in there too. Some glam. Things in there.
So the materia is mainly crafter gathering materia, right? For Cosmo credits.
It's all crafting and gathering materia. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That. Yeah.
There's a framer's kit in there.
Outfits, emotes, headwear, music rolls, dyes, which you probably can't put on the board anyway because like it's limited to this, so it's market prohibited, probably.
No, they're telling you the stuff that can be put on the market. Pretty much everything in there can be put on the market.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You can?
There's not really anything market prohibited in there other than the 500,000 achievement reward. But I still one feeling I struggled with here was that I'm not actually making anything tangible. And so while I'm glad the inventory is not a problem, it's a little weird to be just making a bunch of things and then nothing really happens. It's just kind of weird from like a feeling standpoint. It's like when somebody who like buys digital and buys physical, the physical person needs that like feeling like they have something. That's kind of how I feel when I'm crafting in there or gathering. It's just like, well, it's just like, and it's gone, but it's also the same time like, my inventory is also completely clean. So it's a little bit weird. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Behemoth is starting the thing for real. The level up, just so you know. It just happened on Gilgamesh. It's starting on Gilgamesh too.
Yeah. I see it. 23 minutes. Yeah.
You got time, but yeah, it's just, I figured I'd let you know since you're actually logging in.
Yay! We're probably replacing batteries or some random shit. Yay!
So yeah,
it took forever for that last one.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just kind of hope that if they're going to expand on anything, I want the stellar missions to offer more unique actions. For fishing, we have like stellar equivalents of some of our skills that work and those skills provide a real benefit in terms of how you actually operate. So like when I'm going for big points on fish, I have the stellar hook instead of precision or powerful hook sets. I have stellar hook set, and that doubles the amount of points that something is worth. So I'd like to see them mess around with the stellar bonus actions a little bit more.
So yeah, for gatherers, for collectibles, for outside of fishing, so miner and botanist, it's a action that allows you, no matter what, when you press that button, no matter what, you're getting the maximum amount of collectability that whatever action. So you know how every action has a range. Yeah. So you're getting the maximum amount every time when you push that button. That's the action.
Yeah. So I would like them to expand more upon those where a lot more missions are driven by the stellar actions and how they actually affect the mission outcome a little bit more. I think for crafting, that's a way to undo the macro reliance. For example, if you have like stellar manipulation or stellar waste not or things like that have additional effects while you're going through your crafting. I already mentioned earlier the ability to unlock stellar passives on the moon, or maybe they could keep, because they already bake some of that into the tools for gathering. Like I have a chance to get reduced GP cost on powerful and precision hook set, which is not great, but like I would like the ability to use research points to actively earn passives that only work in stellar exploration. It's very similar to how I feel about Eureka and Bozia. Like those locations thrive on having this separate set of actions that only work in there. And I think that they can make that useful here by utilizing them during stellar missions as well. So that's like a gameplay related thing I'd like to see them expand upon. I want the mech ops to be a little bit more interesting. I like somebody saying that they give you crafting and gathering buffs when you do them instead of just giving you the reward buffs, because the reward buff is so minor.
Like you do a mech op, and then after the mech op you get buffs.
You have like 10 minutes of a buff that assists you in doing the stellar missions.
I'd say 20 20.
The only reason I don't
20
say
is
20
happy.
because then you could do 2 back to back, and then you could have it infinitely.
Yeah, and that's why I'd say that, because
don't
like
think
it's a
they
happy.
should
I
do
think
that.
I feel like that's a happy medium. Don't say it. No, I feel like that's a good, like 20 minutes is a good pace for it. Because like again, you could, like I said, you could do, if you get back to backs, like, hey, I'm good for these two that I'm here, I'm fucking good. Great. Or if you need to go through hell and half of Georgia, like from one end of the moon to the next, sure, like you would be good.
I think if you could just have it forever, that doesn't, like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of being able to have it for the problem with having it for so many missions is that if you don't need it for missions, then you don't go. Like if you're like me and you just don't finish enough missions in time, then you just don't go to the next one. So you're discouraging people from more actively participating in it. If it's for 20 minutes and then you just get them back to back, then like you just feel shitty when you don't get them. So it's, I feel like just 10 minutes is like a quick like burst of, oh, I can do these missions for that. I feel like that makes more sense if they're going to offer some sort of addition for that.
So 10 minutes would be maybe one, and like, again, going back to the whole thing of, hey, you know, I'm in the middle of the mission. Is this shit going to persist during the mission? You know, so that's like 2.5 missions. If it falls off during the mission, it falls off during the mission. But I think it should persist in the mission.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
again,
that's fine. I agree if you start the mission, keep it the whole time. But the big thing is like if it's just a GP, like I think that should be the case if it's like a buff to your research points to speed up your relic grinding. But I think if it's just GP and it runs out in the middle, like I'm not gonna really fucking stress it. Like I think for crafting it makes sense because you don't want to be in the middle of a fucking craft and you lose a buff.
But at the same time, like if you're in the middle of a collectible and that shit falls off and you lose GP,
well, it should only be pulling from the maximum, not from what you currently have.
And yeah, that will pull from what you currently have.
No, pulling from your maximum isn't going to reduce your current. That's not how that works. If I eat food, my GP has to fill. When the food wears off, if I have 50 GP out of 600 and it goes down to like 650, I don't go down to 0 GP. That's not how it works.
I've had this happen before. I understand this. Like it's happened. Like so when before they actually introduced the quality of life where like your shit lasts, I've had it happen in the middle like macro crafting. Of course.
Okay, well, I'm talking about gathering. So to going to crafting, yes, you will. That's why it is that way.
So
because you don't want to lose stuff in the middle of a craft.
Yeah. So for you know gathering, I mean, largely it's not going to be that big of an issue. I mean,
no. It's GP reach. All it does is in the middle of the mission, if it falls off, then your GP just goes back.
If it falls off, then you might not be able to get a solid reason or whatever. You might not be able to, and that's fine. Like you can maybe squeeze out one extra solid reason, and that might matter for
it's
silver to gold.
You can do it without those. It's just a pain in the ass. This is just me. Like if you do half,
that's what I'm saying. That's why the quality of life exists to not make it a pain in the ass.
If you do half of a mission with the buff, there's no fucking way that you don't finish. Just because the buff wore off, because you've already benefited so much from it, and you can already do.
You've already benefited, but like again, like with some A missions, it's like, yeah, fuck, we needed that buff in the middle. Like I might need, like it might carry me over to gold. That might be the difference between gold and silver. That's what I'm saying. Like it might be the difference between gold and silver. And yeah, like we are really anal about that shit right now. Like we are stressed the fuck out. You don't understand. We are stressed the fuck out. So yeah, like we want gold. We want gold. We want that gold little ribbon next to that mission. I don't want a fucking check mark. Fuck that. No. I want a fucking gold ribbon. Miss Clifton. Miss Clifton. Ooh, Miss Clifton. Miss Clifton. Miss Clifton. Miss Clifton. Miss Clifton. Miss Clifton.
What is that even a quote from?
Ribbon. Family Guy.
I don't even remember. I don't remember that. It's too
oh, Miss Clifton, Miss Clifton, Miss Clifton, Miss Clifton. And he just smacks the books away when when Miss Clifton doesn't like.
The big thing is that silver over bronze is a much bigger deal than gold over silver. Gold, one time you need gold to make sure you have the completion all the way.
I fucking hate when I get bronze. I fucking hate.
Oh yeah, bronze is terrible. Silver is the bare minimum you need on any of them.
Yeah, it's a bare minimum, but like if I can't meet the fucking bare minimum of fucking silver, I hate myself. I'm like, the fuck?
I hate myself.
I fucking hate myself. Like, the fuck went wrong?
That's so funny. I hate myself. Hey, it must be nice to. I sometimes can't even finish them. So as fishing. So good luck me.
Oh, that's happened once. I wanted to fucking quit the game. Shit. Like, dude,
came out, I quit in peace.
Dude, I fucking wanted to quit. Like, what the fuck? I couldn't finish this mission because like I didn't have GP and I wanted to do this shit. So I did this shit without GP. Yeah, like, yeah, that mistake I'll never make again. I will be waiting on GP every fucking mission if I don't have it, because these fucking rabbits are stingy. I'm wearing their shirt. I'm wearing your shirt, Lawbirds. I'm wearing your shirts. You are black. I'm black. No racist.
That took a turn. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Anyway, I am overall pleased with it. How it'll pan out over the next several months, we'll see. But we have a Colt Crescent next month, so I'm not really that worried. Discriminating way. Yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Is this where we start naming like stereotypes?
Like no. Like 2 years ago, like a couple of years ago, I had no fucking way when you couldn't get into the game. Discriminating way, yeah. And he just looks like Uncle Ruckus.
Little bunny comes out. My name, Uncle Ruckus. No relation.
My name, Uncle Ruckus. How y'all doing? No relation. Please, someone make art of that. Please make a bunny that looks like Uncle Ruckus. Well. My name, Uncle Ruckus. My name, discriminating way. How y'all doing? No relation. Oh my God.
Is this your idea?
Oh God. Yeah. Please.
Gaslighting away. All the word. Are these the internet loppers? Is that what it is?
Yeah. The meme loppers.
The terminally online loppers. just a whole crew of terminally online loppers.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right, we're gonna get out of this topic before somebody says something they're gonna regret in my chat. All right.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah, so it's good. We'll see. We got a Colt Crescent next month. We'll see how that goes. All right. With banning way. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be. If I see something I don't like, I'm about to be banning way. All right. Well, I think that pretty much covers our very extensive thoughts on cosmic exploration. General thumbs up with a few don't make me watch my GP anymore is in the way.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to start signing off. I'm going to get to the gym, and then I got raid tonight. I have to do something that isn't cosmic exploration or Claire Obscure tonight.
Yeah. Ooh, raid.
Listen,
night on Friday.
I like this raid tier. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too, but I fucking hate raiding on fucking Fridays. But at the same time, like, I had to. But I accept it.
I accept it. Me too. So, thanks everyone for tuning in to State of the Realm. Again, shout out to the sponsors over on Patreon for supporting. They don't have to. We don't lock. There's no paid content locked behind anything, but appreciate them all the same. And thanks again to Steel Series for sponsoring. ! Steel Series in the chat if you're looking for gaming peripherals. 12% discount is there. But if you want more discount and they have a better discount, use that instead. Just use the link if you're ever looking for gaming peripherals. And with that, Sly, it's time for us to sign off. Mm-hmm. So you know the drill. You go first. I go second. Let's get it going.
Yep. You can find me at twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox, Blue Sky Sly, aka Gray Fox, Instagram Sly, aka Gray Fox Sly, aka Gray Fox TTV, because I need to reclaim my name. Same on TikTok. Right now it's Moon Landing 2.0 and Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which has been really fucking fun, and I fucking love it. I did a video on YouTube about the recent Super Robot Wars Y stream that happened last Sunday, and I have feelings about it. If you want to go see it, that's fine. If you've never seen a Super Robot Wars game, I need to make another video about that, and I probably will. AKA it's just Fire Emblem with robots. And every attack is like a limit break. It can go longer than fucking Eden. But put it like that. Like it's that cinematic, and I'm here for it because robots. So I cannot wait till the shit comes out. Plus fucking Jet Jaguar from Godzilla, and we get Godzilla in a fucking robot game. Yeah, spoilers. Yeah, we get Godzilla in Super Robot Wars Y. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm kind of excited and weirded out at the same time. But yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of Super Robot Wars shit. Hell, right now I'm playing Namco Cross Capcom because people put in for that shit, and I'm playing that. So yeah, there's that, and yeah, like I'm really looking forward to Super Robot Wars Y. Because robots. I'm your robot guy. If you ain't seen some shit, I'm the robot guy. If you ain't seen shit, dude, come talk to Uncle Sly.
No relation.
I'm not. No relation. Like people want to call me Daddy Sly. I'm like, no, don't do that, please. I'm not that old. I'm not Daddy. He's Hap Daddy. Though.
I'm younger than you.
Take it over. I know, but you Hap Daddy. So I'm gonna take it over to Hap Daddy to tell you where you can find Hap Daddy.
No
Hap
relation.
Daddy. No relation.
No relation. Mr. Happy 1227. I've got a pretty regular YouTube schedule right now. Playing Claire Obscure and still working through a bunch of 14 videos, 11 videos, all the usual stuff. Probably have a video on Claire Obscure after I'm all done with it as well. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I got to go to Capcom play Onimusha 2 remaster last week.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I got to meet the director. I got to put a video out about that. It's one of the most passionate game devs I've met in like my life. So it was a.
Have you ever? Time. You've played Onimusha before, haven't you?
Yeah, I played them in my youth. I haven't played them in like 20 years.
Fucking same.
Yeah. So that was a great time. I have the footage for it. I got to get that together, put it out maybe like Sunday or something like that. But yeah, I got to play with him, and gets excited about so many. I would describe him as like the only backseater I would ever allow. Cause like while you're playing, he's like, you have to talk to that NPC 3 times, then it gives you this, and then there's that tucked away in that. He has an encyclopedic knowledge of the game,
Yeah. Of course he does. He made it.
Yeah. He made that game. That was the first game he ever directed, was Onimusha 2, and then he came back to do the remaster.
Oh, the Jubei Yagyu Onimusha, which is it's peak.
Yeah. It's the remaster is, dude, Sly, you know what the best part about the remaster is?
What?
You can use the left stick to just move around without tank controls. They added that was the highlight was I was like, yo,
sorry,
no tank controls.
Gogen Dante's the greatest human of all time. I love that game. You don't understand how much I love fucking Onimusha. You don't understand. It's one of my fucking favorites. You have Devil May Cry. I have Onimusha. Like that's.
I mean, Onimusha has the new one coming. I don't know. There's no release date, I think, on the new one yet. But when they previewed that, I was like, oh, we're so back. Capcom's so back for doing a new
Cap God is back, baby.
Yeah. As if they weren't already. But seeing a new Onimusha,
I mean, really.
Next we'll get Mega Man Legends 3, surely. No, guys.
We're not getting Mega Man Legends.
Guys, no. Where's Mega Man Legends 3, right? That's next, right? They did Battle
Dude,
Network.
We have a random person working on Mega Man X Corrupted, and that shit looks amazing. If you haven't seen that shit, go watch it on YouTube. And that's just one
But Mega
person.
Man Legends 3 is happening, right? They're gonna do it, right?
No.
Okay. One day, I'll believe. I'll keep holding out. Listen, I didn't think Onimusha was coming back either, so maybe Capcom's they're anti-valving and they're counting.
No, don't bring back Legends. Bring back X. Bring back X and Zero. That's all I want.
Legends.
That's all I want.
No, bring back Legends. I mean, bring them all back. Breath of Fire 4 just re-released on GOG. There's that. You know, the original is available on GOG now. For Breath of Fire 4, that just happened. You know, so listen, I'm just trying to believe. So yeah, I'm just trying to believe, man. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot going on in the gaming world, and everyone's having a great time. Even I wish I had time for Oblivion because they fixed the leveling system in that game. But Clair Obscur has to.
I wish I had time too. Yeah.
The fact that they fixed the fact that they fixed the leveling in Oblivion was honestly the only thing I needed them to do for a remaster.
Oh God! And
that was it.
The fact that it came out the day that they revealed it. Oh my God! I fucking hated that.
Yeah, but Clair Obscur, I mean, I don't care what they do to Oblivion.
Yeah.
Clair Obscur. So
it reminds me so much of Eternal Sonata. Yeah, Eternal Sonata.
Most people are going Legend of Dragoon and or Super Mario mixed with paper.
Super Mario, Paper Mario. Yeah. Like I go Eternal
Persona. Yeah, mixed with Persona.
I go Eternal Sonata.
Yeah. So. Yeah, there's a lot of good shit. There's a lot of great, and then May's gonna be. I mean, May's got Elden Ring, Night Ring. It's got Onimusha too. We're gonna have a Cult Crescent that month, and then all the bleed over from this month is all gonna last into next month as well. So it's gonna be a wild.
And then of course at the end of the month, Arc Tempered Raidal.
Yeah, So Arc Tempered, that's the limited time event, right? That it's pissing me off.
No. It's not. Like Arc Temper Raidal. It's like he's in.
Because I remember they said they were doing an event quest. It's an event quest. Yeah, it's just an event quest. That's what I thought. That's why I'm fucking pissed.
It's an event quest?
Yeah. That's what I was told. That's why I was pissed.
Well, you better farm that bitch when he comes out, goddammit.
So fucking.
You better farm that bitch when he comes out.
I'm not playing again until my hammer gets buffed anyway. They fucked my hammer so hard. Give me Water Strike back. Give me the Rise toolkit back. Just give me the Rise Hammer toolkit. It was so much better.
See, you don't believe in freedom. Do you like the taste of freedom? Do you like the taste of freedom?
I believe in a
You like
better
the taste of
moveset.
burgers and fries and fried food?
All right, I gotta go to the
Lance.
gym before you make me hungry.
The American Lance.
All right.
These colors don't run, but the monsters will when they see your Lance has a gun.
Yeah, give my hammer a gun. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just give me something on my hammer, please. Give me a gun hammer. Just whatever. Anyway, that's going to be a wrap for this week's episode of Stay the Realm. We're going to go to a short post show, and then I'm going to head to the gym. I will be live again in 3 hours for Raid. A little bit less than 3 hours for Raid. And hopefully it's quick re-clears tonight. And then I can get to work on some more YouTube
Hopefully
stuff.
we clear M7. Yay.
Yeah, I've got a video coming out in the next 3 hours about Final Fantasy XIV Mobile's release date. In China. It's that too, you know. So anyway, we will see you not next week. Sophie's going to be visiting next week, so we're not doing a show.
Hey,
You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited for you. I'm excited.
Thanks. Yeah. So no show next week, and we'll see about the week after that what we're doing. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We will see you next time, and until then, I forgot. So I didn't change the outro from last time. So
oh my god.
So there's two things.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it's not only that. It has Jitter and Biff's names, which I can fix right now. Not that I mind them.
And there's some form of Yan in there too.
There is indeed some form of Yan in there as well. Where is the outro for you? I always forget where.
Fuck them Yans. Like, okay. We'll see you next week, by the way.
Well,
see,
I mean,
not next week. We'll see you soon.
I'm,
we'll see you soon.
Here, this is
we'll
the one. I was looking for that, and then there's the Yans. The Yans are forever, obviously. The animal
Yans are not not now. No, because with gear, them bitches are dying. Oh my god, they're dying. But see you soon, by the way. So yeah, let's talk about the Yans. Them bitches are fucking dying so fucking quick now with gear. And we knew this was gonna happen. We really knew. Like people are getting through, like my team, we're getting through fucking ad phase like that.